Hey everybody, it's Nick here again. I got another clip for you. Today I would like to talk about one of the topics and just like some content that I most commonly do in my line of work. I'm going to be telling you about a concept known as bystander intervention. Basically, bystander intervention is when a individual steps in if they see someone potentially being harmed, just like out in the community, wherever it might be. You step in, you intervene, and that person is now ideally safe and secure. There's two main parts to bystander intervention that I'd like to address today. First off is the in-the-moment reactions, the things you can do when you actually see something, or even after the fact. And then the second part I'd like to talk about is the actual environment building, wherein these acts are even actively discouraged. So let's dig in. So the first piece that I'd like to talk about is the in-the-moment reactions. It's like I mentioned during that intro, it's like you see something and you respond. Now, a lot of people might think to themselves hey, I'm kind of introverted, maybe I don't feel comfortable responding to a situation, maybe I'm afraid of getting retaliation put back onto me, maybe I'm just kind of introverted, maybe, scared of confrontation, that sort of thing. Well, I've got some good news for you. There are many, many different ways to respond to seeing a violent situation happening in your vicinity, and there are no wrong ways to respond either. So there are three that are commonly suggested and recommended, right? First up, there's the direct response, which is where you personally you go insert yourself into a situation. Maybe you see a couple arguing. You walk over there and you interject and you ask, hey, is everything okay over here? Stuff like that. You could even, if you think someone has been hurt, you can check in on them. You can ask them, hey, how are things going? Are you okay? Is there any way that I can support you better? So that's direct. Next up, there's delegate, which, pretty straightforward. It is what it sounds like. You call in someone who has more authority in a situation to diffuse and deter anything from going any further. Calling in that higher authority, that could be a lot of things, honestly. If you're in school, it might be teachers or a professor, principal, someone like that. If you're out in the community, it might be police, it might be small business owner, anybody else who is actually got eyes on the situation. If you're at a bar, it might be bar security. It might be whoever it might be, bartenders, bar staff. So that's delegate. And then the third, which is for the third is for people who they see something happening and maybe they don't want to directly respond to it or even acknowledge that they've seen it. This is for people who are maybe more concerned for their own safety at the moment, or maybe they're just extremely introverted, don't want to engage. So this one is the distract method. And distract, literally exactly what it sounds like. You cause constructive disruptions that might buy the person who is on the receiving end of the violent behavior, might buy them some time to either get away or recoup, get their bearings back. One of the commonly given out examples is if you see a couple fighting in a parking lot, maybe you just start wailing on your horn or playing something obnoxiously loud, something that will draw attention away from the person onto you so that the person who is maybe being victimized can get away. So that is the reactive, in the moment kind of bystander intervention responses. So this section is focused around environment building, and by constructing an environment and community that actively discourages violent acts from even happening. This could be things people congratulating each other if they see someone stepping in and causing those reactive responses to happen. and like amplifying and raising up the voices of people who are actually like making a change. This could be things just like posters or slogans around your town or school, community, whatever it might be. Things that actively say, like, hey, we're in an environment that doesn't stand for bullying, sexual violence, domestic violence, whatever whatever type of violence it might be. If your community is showing that it's actively pursuing ways to deter these things from happening, that is step one. You're already building like that environment that like discourages the violent acts from even happening. On a personal level, this could even be things like if you like bumper stickers on your car, slapping a sticker on there that just says something like "I don't stand for domestic violence," "I don't stand for sexual violence," or it could be including messages related to that in like your email signature, or if you see like a quality like anti-violence post on on whatever social media you might use, you can just like post that, upvote it, like, love, react, whatever it is, whatever platform it's on. And also like there's another way too, like you could bring in an actual speaker to give a presentation, like maybe you're at a club or like part of a social club or like a volunteer kind of thing, or maybe bring someone into your school, something like that, who can give like a presentation related to violence prevention. So there are many ways to like make this happen, and there are many ways where you're able to like cultivate that environment. So I would like to empower you to think about, and I know we're all in quarantine right now, so I realize that most things are like digital only for the time being. But at the end of this video, I would like you to think about ways that you personally can like make changes within your day to day. What are things that you can do to show to others like, hey, I'm a person that you can come to talk about these issues? What are things you can do to say to others that like, hey, if you've been hurt, you can come talk to me? What are things you can do that will say to others, I do not stand for victimizing others, I do not stand for sexual violence, and I do not stand for domestic violence? So I would like to leave you with that thought. I would like you to consider that as you watch this. If you have any ideas or suggestions for future videos, be sure to leave it in the comment section there. Also be sure to subscribe and like, and I hope to hear from you soon.